The Fifth Amendment is another amendment that protects the rights of accused individuals in this country. Um, a lot of this, like you probably know from like previous classes, just knowing because it comes up in like popular culture. The Fifth Amendment protects against things like self-incrimination, which basically means that if you're accused and you have to stand trial, you can't be forced to testify or take the stand at your own trial. Again, even if you're innocent, you might not want to take the stand because you're afraid you're going to say something that's going to make yourself look bad or whatever the case may be. It's your choice as the accused not to take the stand. The jury would be instructed by the judge that they can't hold that against you in their deliberation, but this prevents you from incriminating yourself. So again, you hear people say, "I plead the fifth." It just means you're not going to talk. It also protects against double jeopardy or being tried for the same crime twice. So the prosecution generally gets one chance to get a guilty verdict against an individual. So if you're going to accuse somebody of committing first degree murder, the prosecution better have a good case, because if that accused individual is found not guilty in their trial, they can't keep bringing back murder one charges against that individual until eventually they get a conviction. Like that person that was accused and found not guilty can't worry about being tried over and over again for the duration of their life. So this just prohibits like the prosecution from continuously charging an individual with the exact same crime, right? The prosecution gets one chance, and if you're acquitted, generally that's it. That's it. If at some point more evidence appears later on down the line, you won't be able to charge them with the exact same crime. Maybe you can hit them with a lesser offense. But again, right, you usually get one shot to get a guilty verdict. It also establishes rules for eminent domain. This doesn't really fit with like the rest of the amendment. So eminent domain occurs when the government seizes your property, usually against your will, because they need it for some sort of official purpose. This just requires them to give you fair market value for your property when they take it. So let's say the government needs to seize your property because it backs up to a highway and they're expanding a lane of they're adding a lane to the highway and they have to run it through what is your property. They may just seize your property and give you compensation for it. Or if they're widening a street, they have to knock like a building down to be able to do that. They may seize your land under eminent domain, but they have to give you fair market value for it, which is frustrating for obviously the owners of the property. But there's just generally a long, drawn out legal process that's involved with this. So again, the Fifth Amendment is self incrimination, double jeopardy, eminent domain. They're the key vocab takeaways.